Today I want to tell you whether or not the notice period is required on quitting your job. Well, it is important to understand that there is an etiquette when you quit your job, and that etiquette is your resignation etiquette. Well, you must follow resignation or exit etiquette, and when you resign to your job, it is recommended to give a notice period. Now, there are two perspectives you might want to consider. One is the employee's perspective. Let's say you are the one resigning, you are the one leaving the company, so you fall under the employee's perspective. There is a second perspective, that is employer's perspective. Let's say you are not the person leaving the company, but you are the manager of the person leaving the company. So this is your perspective. So let's understand these two perspectives in detail. So number one, employee's perspective. It is important to understand what giving a notice period means. A notice period is a verbal or written communication to your manager that you are leaving the company and your last date would be so and so. You may choose to include a polite thank you for all the opportunities you received at your company, for all the nice people you met at your company, out of courtesy. It is important to remember that your departure must be as professional as possible. Should your path with your manager or teammates cross again, you do not want any awkward encounters in futures. It is also considered good etiquette to provide a rationale for your departure. If you decide to submit a notice period to your employer, do not take advantage of the situation. Do not steal or tamper with any documents. Those are not your property. Do not brag about your new company or employer. Do not brag about your salary. Do not take vacation or sick or personal days. Make sure to help your manager in any possible way so that your knowledge transfer process can initiate quickly. Also, if your teammates, your project leads, or anybody needs any help before your departure, make sure to help them. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the employer's perspective. If an employee resigns or gives you a notice period, you may be tempted to ask that employee to leave the same day. But what advantage will it do for you or your company? It is not going to give you any competitive advantage. An important thing to learn here is to minimize your ego and anger and be as polite and respectful to your employee as possible. There could be some potential reasons for which you don't agree. For example, you do not agree with the duration of the notice period. In this situation, you need to schedule a one-on-one with your employee and negotiate the duration of the notice period. Again, the key here is to be polite and respectful. That is the only way you will handle the uncomfortable conversation with your employee. A few things to consider here. Step 1. Start working on a knowledge transfer plan. Step 2. Start working on backfilling the position. You may need to hire an external employee. You may find an internal employee who can backfill that position. Step number 3 is to take initiative until you find a backfill. Let's say you predict you cannot find a backfill for the next 3 months. Then as a manager, you need to step up and understand the daily responsibilities and deliverables of this employee and help the project and business move forward. These are all the tips that I had. So in short, if you are an employee leaving a company, make sure to give notice period to your employer. And if you are an employer receiving a notice period from an employee, then make sure to handle the situation with respect. Thanks for watching my video. See you next time.